everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecolored.co.uk. Thank you very, very much for joining me today. Today I am showing you what is going to be part one in 3, 2, 1. Hi everybody, Keren here from tuppencecolored.co.uk, and thank you very, very much for joining me today. This is what I'll be making today, and today's tutorial is part one in what's going to be a mini series based around this little elegant box. So today I'm showing you how I made the box, and in the future I'm going to be showing you how I fit it out on the inside. So stay with me and we'll get started. I'm making my box out of basic black, so I've got one piece that's 6.5 by 5 3/4. I've got another piece that is 6 5/8 by 5 7/8, so just slightly bigger than the first piece. Two 5-inch squares, my Falling Flowers stamps, Versamark and gold embossing powder. This is the larger of my two pieces of a card, and I want to take just a little sliver, tiniest little amount, off one of the long edges. So I'm just going to line that up on my cutting mat and bring in my ruler to try and keep me straight. And I think that's even a little bit more than I want, so I'm just going to, just the tiniest piece, and I'm using the grids on my cutting mat to keep me straight. Now I could have just gone and got my trimmer and taken a little bit off with that, but today I thought I'd just use a craft knife and a ruler. Okay, so I've just taken off a tiny little bit, less than 1/8 of an inch, and that will help the lid to fit snugly on the base. Even though the two larger pieces are slightly different sizes, I'm going to score them exactly the same way. And I put the scoring diagram on the screen so that you can see how I'm going to do it, and it'll also be on my blog if you want to go and visit there. So I'm going to begin by scoring on the short side at 3/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to rotate the card and score it at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. And I'm going to rotate it again and score it at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. And I'm going to rotate it one more time and score at 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. So on one side I've just got one score line, and on the opposite side I've got two. I'm going to score my small squares at 1/2 inch on each side. So there's one, and off camera I'll go away and I will do the other one. They're both done exactly. Next thing to do is to trim away the bits that I don't want. So on the edge that has just the one score line, I'm just going to cut away these little squares in the corner here, and I'm going to trim that edge, and I'm going to trim that edge. I'm going to do the same on this side. Chopping away that little corner piece and angling the edge slightly, and on this corner where I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, I'm going to cut away these 3, and same thing again, I'm going to angle off at the corners, and that's going to help my box to fit together nicely without too many lumps and bumps, I hope. Okay. So now I've got that shape. So on this piece with the two at the front, I'm just going to snip in there and snip away there to make a tab. Same thing this side, snip and snip, and again trim a bit away to reduce the bulk. And on this piece, I'm going to snip out that edge, just like that. And actually I've angled that a bit more than I should have, but that's not going to matter too much. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to burnish all of my folds, and I'm going to put my tape on. here we go with the fold burnishings. I'm putting tear and tape along this edge on what's going to be the inside, and the same here, and the same here. I'm going to leave that one just for a moment, I'll come back to that, and I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to put tape on these little tab pieces. And this is going to be the front of my piece. Okay, so this is the outside, that's the inside. And of course you can use whatever adhesive you like. Liquid adhesive will be fine, but you'll need to hold it in place while it sets. Snail would probably not be strong enough. If you've still got some fast fuse kicking around, that'll work brilliantly. All right. So I've already done some taping on this box, and as you can see I got a bit creative with the tab positioning on that one, but it doesn't matter because it'll all work out in the end, trust me. And I could have done a better job of burnishing on these folds as well, so just bear with me 1 second. So this is my base, this is my lid, and as you can see I've marked them in metallic Sharpie so that I don't get confused. I'm going to put one more piece of tear and tape along the back of that flap. Okay. So now the inside of my lid looks like this, the outside of the lid looks like that. The outside of the base looks like this, the inside looks like this. As you can see, I haven't got any adhesive on that flap there. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to make up the base. And I'm going to start by bringing this piece round to the outside. Okay, and actually I've tabbed that, and I shouldn't have because I really need it to be square. So that was a rookie mistake. Just carried away with my tabbing, and you know what, I'm just taking the backing off the wrong piece of adhesive. Never mind, it'll all work out in the end. Right, so I'm going to bring that piece around, and I'm going to try and keep it at a right angle. There we go. So now for the other pieces, just going to take away the tape. Backing doesn't want to go anywhere. Bring those edges in and line these edges up. They're nice and square. There we go. Now I can take away these pieces of backing paper and fold these in. And this gives me a nice sturdy box with all my tabs concealed. And so that makes it nice and strong and less likely for the thing to fall apart. Okay, this bit where I've got the two little bits of tape showing, that's going to be the back of the box, and this is going to be the back of the lid. So I'm just going to carefully take away the tape, and I'm going to fit these two together. So that I now have a hinged lid, and this piece I'm going to tuck inside here, and here, so I'm making this look a lot harder than it should be, actually, and for that I apologise. Okay. Now my lid is starting to take shape, so yeah, really I should have had some tape on there first. Alright, so let's do that again. So I'm going to take the backing paper off here, fold that piece in, take off the backing paper, take the backing paper off this piece here. Okay, so now it all folds together, so I'm going to start that piece at the front, bring this over and tuck all of this in. I'm just going to check that that still fits, which it does, fits nicely. So the last thing that I have to do is to take the backing paper off this piece at the front, and just bring that piece over. And there we are. I have a nice, neat, double-layered, hinge-lidded box, which fits nice and snugly, but not too tight. I do hope to God I'm recording this, am I? Yeah, I am. Okay, this bit is probably going to get chopped out. No, stop. I'm ready now to do some stamping and heat embossing. So before I start, I'm going to go all over my card with a bit of embossing buddy, and I'm being very generous with it. And let me put that on one side. I have my my stamp from Falling Flowers on my block already, and I'm going to give it a nice coat of Versamark. And I am going to stamp, and I want a sort of corner to corner kind of look on here. Not worrying about too much what goes into the margins, because that's going to be folded over, it's not going to show. and that looks okay. So I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite corner. And I tried doing this in clear on black and it looked absolutely glorious, but it doesn't show up terribly well on camera. So today I'm using gold. And I'm just giving that a few seconds for the ink to absorb. Okay, so let me have a look at that. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So now I'm going to get my gold embossing powder. I've got a coffee filter down to catch any excess that there might be. And just want to brush away these little extra pieces, which we don't need. So I'm just going to return this to the pot and put the lid on before the cat decides to wake up and come and join the fun, and tip it over and it goes everywhere. So, okay, didn't want to do that. I did not want to do that. I didn't want to put my fingers through it. So, yeah, no problem. We'll do it again. So I've got my heat gun. I'm going to turn it on to high. I'm going to hold this with a peg. I'm going to do this bit again. So I've got my heat gun. I'm going to turn it on to high and I'm going to emboss this bit of card. And because this is noisy, I'm going to turn the sound down, give you some music to listen to. So there's my embossing done. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to miter these corners. Just cut right across them. Just like that. And save a bit of time, I've put tear and tape onto the back of these flaps. So I'm going to remove the backing paper. Like that. And I'm going to fold in the edges and burnish them with my folder. And this is what I've got left. So if I bring back my box, as you can see, I've already put some tape onto the top there, and that's going to go onto the top of the box just like that. So I'm just going to take the backing off these strips of tape. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run along them with some liquid adhesive. Two reasons. One is that as the box dries, the adhesive on the tape will dry and may give way. And the other reason though, the main reason, and I think I'll have it that way, is so that I've got a little bit of wiggle room to allow myself to centre that panel onto the box. See? Okay, get in there and squash it closed. Okay. So I'm going to finish off the basic box construction. I've folded over the edges of the other 5-inch panel and stuck those down. Haven't stamped on this one because it's going to be the base and I don't need to. I've got a length about 2 feet long, I think, of shimmering black ribbon, and I just couldn't say that earlier on. And as you can see, I've put tape ready on the base of my box. So I'm going to start by putting my ribbon into place on my box. Right, and that will come around there just like that, and the base of the box will hold it in place. That's the theory. So same thing again, I'm going to take off the backing of the tape. Oops, stop my ribbon sticking where I don't want it to. Bring in some of my liquid adhesive for extra strength and for a little bit of wiggle room, because this is a very special box, and I'm just going to line that up, oops, as square as I can get it. And I'm trying to make the edges match with the lid, and once I'm happy with that, I can go inside and press it down, and there is my box. Tie a nice big bow on the lid here. Do a better job of it than that, but that's the basic box finished. Right, so I'm going to tie a bow on the top of the box. So I've got my 2 ends of ribbon. I'm going to bring them in and I'm going to tie a knot to begin with. And now I'm going to make a bunny ear, make another bunny ear, and I'm going to wrap one bunny ear around the other. I'm trying to keep that knot I tied originally as tight as I can. And I'm going to pull on my ends, and I'm just going to fiddle around with my bow for a little bit until I get it the way I want it to. And yeah, there it is. I think that looks pretty elegant. And so that is it for part 1 of the elegant gift box, and I will be posting part 2 in the very near future, so if you've enjoyed this, please do come back again for... So that is it for part 1 of the elegant gift box, and if you've enjoyed this, then don't forget to come back for part 2. I will be posting it very soon. But for now, thank you very, very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye bye.